This is Fall Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for FanSided. I'm joined today by a man who is stunned that Wisconsin won a game in a rain. His mind is completely blown that Garrett Nussmeier got benched, but he's not surprised at all that JKS had a game-winning touchdown to St. Louisville. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. Cal's going to a bowl, baby. How are you?
Dude, shouts to JKS. I still can't say his name, but hell of a win. The ACC is what the ACC is, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I learned how to say JKS's name, and the reason we're going to learn how to do it is because if Brock Osweiler can say his name, we can say his name.
That's true. I hope to God I have more brain cells than Brock Osweiler. It's not a guarantee, but it's like I hope.
No, he's got a misspelled tattoo, so I mean that's the way it goes. Okay, Jaron, the middle name is what gets me. It's Kiave. The W is a V.
Okay, Kiave.
Yeah,
Okay.
K-E
Jaron Kiave Sagapatelli.
Sagapoto. There you go.
Okay,
You got
hell yeah. Look at that. Look at us.
it. You are thriving, brother, man. North Carolina Tar Heels won today too. Congratulations.
We love that. And I don't know if you saw this, but there was a also just because I have to mention it because I think it's hilarious. There was a coin flip to decide a spot in the Texas State playoffs last night at a gas station at midnight in the middle of Texas.
Hey, Bubba, was
Hey,
it?
hey Bubba, man. Unbelievable stuff.
What's the most like Texas chain restaurant you could do that in a parking lot? Or yeah, if not a gas station, like what would be the most Texas
Like doing
thing?
it at a Whataburger would be pretty damn Texas.
Atlanta, you do it in a Waffle House parking
That's
lot.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and before we get started here with 3 yards and a cloud of punt here on Fall Start, be sure to give us a like, smash that subscribe button. Blake Shapen was hitting the turf today.
Yeah, God, he was.
Pouring out for Lawson Lucky. Apparently, he's okay. Danny O'Neill, I don't think he can walk anymore. That sucked, dude.
A lot of physical football being played for week 11. Let's say that.
Also, last little thing, Big Ten weather was awful today. It was terrible watch across
It
the
was
board.
hilarious, honestly. It made my day. Notre Dame weather was not great either. The rain turned to snow as the game went on.
Also, the fact that Wisconsin's punter had the longest completion of anybody in the game.
He had the most passing yards. It wasn't just the longest completion. He led Wisconsin in passing with a 24-yard completion.
Hell yeah, brother. Obviously, we fall started here. We're going to get going with our first run of the day. I'm going to point out three different teams who I think had college football playoff statement wins in alphabetical order. That would be Georgia, that would be Texas A&M, and that would be Texas Tech. I'm not putting Georgia first to be biased. That's just how the
Yeah,
alphabet works. But let's start with Texas Tech. I think that's the biggest one of the day.
yeah.
Game day was there. The crowd was rocking. You could just tell that the environment there in Lubbock and Jones A&T Stadium also. Shout out to that game day sign.
Dude, unbelievable stuff. Shouts Mike Leach forever.
Forever, forever and ever. Texas Tech looks like a team that can compete with teams who will make the playoff out of the SEC and the Big Ten. They could beat a few, not all, but they could win a game or two. And more importantly, the Big 12 looks like they could get multiple teams into the playoff. Maybe not right this instant, but they can because Texas Tech's a playoff team regardless of what they do in Arlington.
No, 100%. Texas Tech today looked like what Texas and Oklahoma, when they were humming, looked like in the Big
Yes.
12. That's what they looked like today. They looked just faster than everyone else that BYU had. Bear Bachmeier looked like a freshman for the first time we've really seen this year. And I mean, it was just frankly, the craziest part was I didn't even think Texas Tech played that good offensively, and they still
No.
almost won by 30. Like that's
Yep.
how dominant they were in that game.
I mean, they've had quarterback injuries. Will Hammond's now done for the year. Barrett Morton's been banged up, but Jacob Rodriguez might be like the guy who's going to clean up on award season,
Hmm.
everything like that. Um, when you have veteran leaders that have bought in and have been with this program for a while, with what Joe McGuire is doing, the cachet he has, also the NIL investment from, I don't know, Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes.
it certainly helps.
This is a team that has completely claimed the top of the power void at the Big 12 that others like Kansas State and Oklahoma State vacated. There's other ones that will vie for that. Arizona State could
Mhm.
occasionally, Houston might, but like right now, congratulations winning the space game there, by the way, on
Yeah.
Friday night. But Texas Tech looks like a team that is going to be ranked somewhere between 6 and 9 when we get to the
Mhm.
playoff. In the end, they're fantastic.
Yeah, I had them in the projected AP rankings, which if you want to go check out like the full reasoning that I have, but like one of the things about the AP poll that we're going to see from here on out is that it's going to mimic the CFP rankings. Like you
Yeah.
start to see AP voters just kind of use the CFP rankings to as a guide, more or less. And I have Texas Tech jumping Ole Miss. I think that their resume with two dominant wins over two teams that are still probably going to be top 15 teams in BYU and Utah, like Texas Tech dominated both of them. I understand Ole Miss plays in the SEC. It's a harder week to week schedule, but the resume for Texas Tech in terms of quality wins is better.
I think that's fair. Hadn't really occurred to me that they may leapfrog Ole Miss, and we'll talk about that more on tomorrow Monday's show. But like, there's also a chance they could be as high as 5
Yeah, it's not out of the question, man.
because there's a team up there that I don't really buy,
Yeah.
and we'll get there at some other point here. So yeah, fantastic game there for the Red Raiders. They're looking legit. Can't say enough good things about them right now. The Pat McAfee is standing on a chair.
Always, always, like if he doesn't have something to stand on, there's no point in him even going.
The fact that man can read is astonishing to me because the ADD is just coursing through his veins.
I would love to see what the teleprompter says versus what Pat McAfee actually says, because I'm not 100% sure he can read all the time.
Dude, I'm sure it's like Pong, but it's like two cats playing back and forth. And let's stay in the state of Texas. Let's move on to Texas A&M.
Mm,
Thoroughly impressed with the Aggies. I was thinking about this. So they beat Mizzou, again, a team that had to start Matt Zollers at quarterback, freshman who's got a lot of talent, but like obviously this thing's cooked without Bo Pribula and without Sam Horn there in Como. But Texas A&M answers the bell. They can be anyone, any place, anytime, anywhere, by really any margin.
yeah.
And I think that like I saw this from Ari Wassman. I don't know if you caught this tweet out there. He says Texas Tech is 1 win away from guaranteeing that I won't finish 9-3.
It's true.
Granted,
It's true.
granted, his wife is Nagy, so like that's totally fair. But
Yeah.
like Texas A&M probably plays the most complete brand of football in all three phases of any team that can win a national title. And that's the thing with Texas A&M. It's like we gotta like kind of like turn like our attention like the Braves, where it's like, okay, everything we know about them we could throw away. Like they have the talent, they have the coaching, they have the Heisman contender at quarterback in Marcel Reed. They play great defense. I I'm glad that Georgia's probably not going to get to Atlanta to face them because Alabama and A&M have to beat each other up. One of them's going to take some lumps here.
No, 100%. I'm not trying to disparage Texas A&M because they were impressive today. Like they dominated that game. Um, but I do think that having Zollers at quarterback definitely affected the game. Like I think Texas A&M would have won that game even if Bo Pribula was starting. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to. I'm not trying to make an excuse and say like that's the only reason this game played out the way it did. But they rendered Zollers so ineffective that Missouri's defense, which if they're going to win games from here on out, that's how they're going to have to do it is with defense. Their defense was gassed by a certain point. And like when you're having to keep up with Marcel Reed, when you're having to keep up with Ruben Owens, when you're having to keep up with Concepcion and Craver, you can't have a tired defense out there. That's not going to work out real well for you. So like I'm not probably as bullish on Texas A&M as you are, but it's also a team that if I were a college football playoff contender, I wouldn't remotely want to face right now because they are dangerous and they are, like you said, they are well coached. And it may not be the Jimbo era of every 5 star that you're willing to pay is coming to, College Station, but it's still an incredibly talented roster.
100%. They're well coached now. I mean, it seems like it's going to overcome the impressionableness of it, which just drives them. It's why it's hard for me to get fully into Texas A&M or Oregon because you attract that type of person.
Yeah.
But the fact you're in Texas, you could overcome that. Whereas in Oregon, you cannot. I guess the last thought I've got on Texas A&M before I move on to Georgia is Joey Galloway was saying this beforehand during the playoff selection. And this is an Ohio State guy. he thought that A&M might be one. And
Hmm.
after what they did to Mizzou and how they've looked to this point, based on what we've seen out of Ohio State and Indiana, and maybe even Bama or Georgia, like it's a more compelling case this week than what Joey Galloway said on Tuesday.
No, I agree. I don't think it's going to change anything. I truly don't. But it should. I mean, just like we thought Indiana should have been number one going into last week. Like I think that there is the reality of what college football and what these teams are right now, and then there are the rankings. And those are two different things when it comes to the top three teams right now. Like I think they're in a different order in terms of which teams I would rather face right now than they are going to be in the rankings.
And I think that's fair. And I'll tie a bow on this first run here with Georgia. Georgia's best game of the season. I
Hmm.
think they dominated from start to finish. This was more complete than what they did versus Kentucky. Granted, Mississippi State's a better program than Kentucky right now. Um, they got a pass rush. They really affected Blake Shapen, and without I forget what the backup quarterback is who came in there. He played it's Camariana something. I'm gonna find it. I'm blanking on his name because it's new. It's the first time I've really watched him play. I'm like, who the hell is that? It's I got
Camario Taylor.
Mario Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is gonna be that guy's gonna be a problem for a while. He's kind of what Van Buren was for them a
Hmm.
year ago, and Van Buren had his moments there at LSU today. But basically, Gunnar Stockton and Nate Frazier could do no wrong
Yeah.
today. They just carved him up, and then like everyone was saying, "Oh, Georgia's going to lose the ultimate trap game, sandwiched between Florida and Texas." They didn't do that. They dominated completely. It kind of like what it is with Mizzou. Like when you're up by that much, like they're going to come back a little bit. That's just the nature of the beast here. But with this game, you're like Georgia's basically gotten to it. They're a playoff lock at this point. They just have
Hmm.
to win like what, two more games. They're going to be UNC Charlotte, and then if you split with either Texas or Georgia Tech, you're going to be favored in all three games.
Hmm.
You're going to be like a 4 to 6 seed, maybe eight if you lose like one of those games.
No, 100%. I mean, I don't think I was ever worried about Georgia necessarily losing this game, but I was worried that it would look like previous iterations of playing Kentucky. Not necessarily this year, because this year was a much better showing, but like last year when you got in a little bit of, a hairy situation against Kentucky. Like this felt like that type of game where, they would just be a letdown spot and like they would pull out a win because they're just a better team than Mississippi State. And that wasn't the case. It was highly impressive. Got like I think I'm more and more impressed with Gunnar Stockton just because of the way he's like carrying himself as a quarterback. It's different than what we saw early in the season, man. Like, it's not that he's ever lacked for confidence, but he feels like he is in control, like full
Yeah.
control, full confidence in everything that he's doing and everything his teammates are doing. Like, and some of the throws he's making, like I get it truly like I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I say this. It is a more talented version of Stetson Bennett. That's what it feels like I'm watching.
What he's doing is what we wish Garrett Nussmeier could do.
Yes, 100%.
He's still trying to figure out how to layer it. Also, not Garrett Nussmeier, Gunnar Stockton should be a Heisman finalist. Like he's on that same level that everybody else is saying. Just because Georgia's fifth and they lost to Bama, it's like he's playing just as good as any of those other guys that he's just not being named with. It's kind of ridiculous. He's putting up the stats. I mean, along with Reed, he's probably the best dual threat quarterback in the country.
He's close. I mean, Byron Brown, I would throw in there.
Yeah, but like Stockton's doing this in a really tough spot. I don't think a lot of people can handle the pressure of being the quarterback at Georgia this season. But like he's like fifth. He was like plus 3,000, which I thought was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, they've got him sixth behind Sayan, Mendoza, Simpson, Reed, and Pavia, which behind Pavia is a little ridiculous. Like at minimum, he should have the same odds as Pavia.
Yeah, and I'm of the belief that one of the guys ahead of him is going to fall off. It could be Mendoza. It's not going to be Sand. It could be Simpson. It could be Reed. We don't
There's
really
still a
know.
Michigan game looming for Julian Sayin, so I'm not ruling out that it could be Sayin.
I watch way too much Big Ten football and just the absolute nonsense those talking heads are talking about their league. I'm like, your league sucks. Your league's not good. Like the second best league in the college football has the Big 12.
Yeah, it true. I mean, yeah, I would take Texas Tech over most teams in the Big Ten right now.
But that's a conversation very different day. Georgia checked the box triumphantly. It one of the style points. They hadn't really done that to this point this year. Maybe that'll matter. Probably not this week. Maybe down the line. Whatever, they're 8-1. Go Dogs.
No, 100%. It was an impressive showing from the dogs and like again, like I want to be honest with you. I didn't watch like the fourth quarter of this game because it was in the bag and like there were other things that I needed to watch when that was happening. So like I mean, that's a compliment to Georgia that I felt I didn't need to bother myself with that because they had it in the bag. Two teams that also never felt like they didn't have it in the bag. That's who I'm running with. That's Alabama and Notre Dame, brother.
Yeah.
Um, I understand Alabama won by 11 points, and I understand that Notre Dame was playing Navy. But dude, these teams feel like someone like tied to a train track with like a train moving very slowly toward like and like their opponents are the people tied to the train tracks and they're a train moving very slowly and like they're eventually gonna just crush you and like you're not gonna be able to do anything about it.
It's like those videos you see on Facebook of like the metallic shredders.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you throw in there. You could throw like hopefully nothing organic, but like a bowling ball, a porcelain throne. You could throw literally anything in there outside of a diamond, and it's gonna break.
No, 100%. And so let's start with Alabama in that equation because we have that's obviously the game we're coming to you semi live after. Um, Man, LSU just didn't have a single answer for anything that they wanted
No.
to do. And like LSU's defense played well, and it still felt like Alabama was keeping them on their heels. Like it didn't show up on the scoreboard necessarily, but like they won the field position battle time and time and time again. And then the defense was just dominant against this LSU front. If like if LSU was going to have a chance in this game, they had to like find some way to block Alabama, and they could not. They just simply could not do it.
No, that's LSU's biggest problem. Their offensive line sucks, and it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter who's playing quarterback. I don't know what happened with Nuss there. It was just, he got in an argument with the interim coach. Looked very Jeff George out there.
Yeah, 100. I'm gonna go on a limb. Nuss has a year of eligibility left, right?
He might. I figured he might be gone somewhere else,
He's for sure not going to be in Baton Rouge. I can assure you of that.
which is weird because like I know his dad, Papa Doug's been moving around and coaching and everything like that, and he claims Louisiana as his home state, but like maybe he goes to Miami.
Yeah, maybe he goes to Miami. Wouldn't hate it. That's a nice
No,
Carson Beck replacement.
yeah, I think we'll touch on Nussmeier probably more in tomorrow Monday's show, but like Alabama, like Ty Simpson, like I always talk about like you got to have enough starts. He's ready.
Mhm.
He's ready to be a top 10 pick. He just the way that he moves out of like, out of the pocket, it's like Aaron Rodgers a little bit. Just like I am so unbelievably confident, 5, 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I'm just gonna carve you up. Ball
Mhm.
comes out of his hands so smooth. He usually makes the right read, a lot more athletic than people give him credit for.
Mhm.
It's kind of like Rodgers and Drake May a little bit with I think he's got a little bit more I don't think he lets it compound as much as Drake May does, but like
Mhm.
it's kind of that NFL prototype, which is if you have that NFL prototype, you're gonna be what a top 5 pick.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's between him and Fernando Mendoza, honestly, for the number one pick, in my opinion. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
anyone else is even really particularly close. Like, you can miss me with Dante Moore being in that conversation. Like, I think
No.
Dante Moore is a fine player. I don't think he's on the same level as those two.
No, not even close. I don't even care about him. What's that like the Don Draper like I don't even think about you.
Yeah, yeah. I feel sorry for you. I don't think about you at all. Yeah. But no, like, I mean, to your point, like you mentioned with Gunnar Stockton, like one of the things that Stockton needs to do to like develop further, like if he wants to have an NFL future, is learn how to layer the ball. Brother, Ty Simpson in week one wasn't layering the football, and now he's layering it all over the damn field. Like anywhere he wants to, that's just a drop in the bucket. And it's pretty damn impressive to watch. He has again, I could not have been more down on him being the starting quarterback for Alabama coming into the year. And that's probably my worst take of the season. And I've made some pretty bad ones. I had LSU and Clemson in the national championship, but my Ty Simpson take might be worse than that.
I mean, I had Lador Sellers win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, it's fine. We're gonna be wrong about a lot of things. I don't think we had Alabama making the playoff in either of our
Hmm.
brackets. But I think as long as you end up getting 6 right in the end, I think you're okay, which I think is still in play.
I hope so. God, I hope so.
I guess like the other thing I've got about Alabama before we touch on Notre Dame here is they still can't run the ball very well,
Mhm.
and I think that will eventually get them if they don't have the right matchup here. But pass rush is getting a lot better. They've always got good defensive backs. That's kind of been the anchor of like, their defense this year with Demani Jackson, Sab, everything like that. But like
Yeah.
pass rush is I wouldn't say as good as Oklahoma's in the SEC, but like a tier below that, which is still really good.
No, 100%. And to be clear, like I'm probably still leaning Alabama early on, but like I'm intrigued to see what they look like against Oklahoma because you want to talk about a team that can make passing the ball hard and like force you to run the ball. That's what that Oklahoma defense is capable of. And so like I'm not sure Oklahoma can score on them. Let me be very clear about that. But like I do want to see what this Alabama offense looks like against Oklahoma next week. I'm very excited, like intrigued for that matchup. And like more so is like gauging how realistic is it that Alabama wins a national championship? Because I think that's the conversation that we have to talk about with them right now.
They are the most battle-tested team in the country. I
Yeah.
think that, outside of the Florida State game, which weather was an issue, humid and stuff like that. Also, it was apparently like 100% humidity in like Starkville today. Kirby's like, yeah, thank God for conditioning. I'm over here sweating my ass off.
Dude, Mississippi's not a real place. Like it's truly not.
No, you've been there.
It's
It's
November 8th and it's 100% humidity. Like that's not real. That's not a real thing.
it's not. I guess let's move on to Notre Dame here. They've lost their first two games this season to Miami and Texas A&M. They've won seven in a row. You beat rival Navy, which is like, but Blake Horvath didn't play. I think that's a
I don't think
challenging
it
thing.
would have mattered, honestly,
Nah,
but judging by what I watched, it was
no,
pretty
dude.
dominant.
Brian Newberry could have played with 13 guys in the field. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, I think the most impressive thing, like, I mentioned it, in the intro, like, the weather was awful in this game. And honestly, like, when I saw what the weather was looking like for this game, I was like, maybe Navy's like a little more alive than like I thought they were coming into this game, just because, like, you would hope that, like, a cold, wet, snowy, rainy game might play into a triple option team's favor. No, didn't matter at all. Notre Dame just did whatever they wanted. And that included CJ Carr playing one of his better games of the season, man. CJ Carr played well in the snow and the rain. And like I mentioned it, I believe earlier this week, like talking about Notre Dame. The thing that's going to separate Notre Dame from being a one and done in the college football playoff and potentially going on another run, not necessarily the national championship game, but going on another run like through a couple of games into the playoff is whether or not CJ Carr can elevate. And this is the first time in about a month and a half that I've seen him like elevate a little bit.
100%. I got to share this with you. This is probably the best, one of the best plays I've seen all season long. Have you seen that touchdown that Jeremiah Love got? It was
Oh, dude,
unbelievable.
unbelievable. Yeah, I don't even need to click on it. Yes, I saw it. I saw it live. And like he looked like he was down like six different times.
Yeah. So for those who weren't watching this game, Notre Dame is like just barely on the Navy side of the 50. And it looks like it's going to be a typical like handoff in the backfield. He's going to get tackled for like maybe a 3 yard gain, maybe a 3 yard loss. He gets swallowed up immediately. Somehow like avoids getting tackled by like literally like six midshipmen.
Hmm.
Doesn't go down. It just just goes to pay dirt like 45 yards. It's unbelievable. Just having the Doak Walker winner on your team who is just playing at a different level. This guy's turning pro. This is his last year in college football.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be a top 12 pick. I don't know what you're more of the NFL draft guy. Like what team needs a running that sucks needs a running back more than anything because that's who's going to take him.
So not necessarily sucks, but as of right now, are currently out of the playoffs and like kind of in like that 12 to 15 ranges or 12 to 18 ranges where they're going to end up. Minnesota Vikings, I think, make a lot of sense because you got Aaron Jones, who I believe is 30, 31 right now. And like you really don't have a younger option that's coming up behind them. So like trying to supplement JJ McCarthy, I could see JJ or Jeremiah Love going to the Vikings, which I think is a good spot. I like getting him in a Kevin O'Connell offense. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I'm not going to root for that because I'm not a Vikings fan. You know what? Put him on the Bengals. Put him on there. Put him with
God,
the
no, he doesn't play defense. Don't put him on the Bengals. The Bengals need like literally any functioning body that can play defense.
that's ball control. That's defense, brother. Or if the Falcons let Tyler Algier walk, just come on down, even though
There you go.
we don't have a pick. Got it. My team's in hell.
Well, I mean, the crazy part about Notre Dame is like Jadarian Price could like be a Doak Walker contender if he was on another team.
Right.
Like he's so freaking good.
It's like with Notre Dame under Marcus Freeman, they've become what LSU thought it could be under Brian Kelly, where it's like,
Mhm.
we'll lose, we'll book in seasons with losses, but we're going to win all the rest of the games in the middle.
100%. And like LSU would kill for that right now.
Marcus Freeman's going to stay there for a while, right? Like, I don't see him. I don't know. Could he get poached? I mean, I know he's an Ohio State alum, but Brian Day's got that thing locked down.
No, I think the biggest threat to Marcus Freeman leaving Notre Dame is not in college. I think it's the NFL. And like it depends on if he wants to go to the NFL or not. Like there have been rumblings over the past couple off seasons that like there's interest from the NFL and like we haven't really heard what Marcus Freeman's interest level is on that side of the ball or on that side of the coin. So, but like I think that's the like I don't think there's a college job he would rather have than being at Notre Dame.
Come to Atlanta. I'll take you, man.
Yeah, all 100%. Yeah.
I mean, I think Shoddy is probably safe for you guys. It seems like you guys like him.
Shoddy is not the problem with the Dallas
No,
Cowboys.
no, no. It's the it's Flus and the octogenarian.
The geriatric F word that runs the team.
Notre Dame is a slow machine. Jerry Jones is driving that. Jerry Jones, like that the paradigm where it's like you could drive the train and run over one person or five. Jerry Jones would run over all
Oh
six.
yeah, he'd hit it in reverse and make sure he got the other five.
Flip it back up and reverse.
It's not a fun existence, man.
I'll finish with this. I remember like for a couple of years ago, he got like in a car wreck or something.
Yes, I do recall.
Uh, it's okay. I'm sorry about that.
No,
Arthur
it's
Blank.
good, man.
I'm gonna get up in like 7 hours to watch the Falcons lose to the Colts in Germany. I'm just trying to be happy with football right now.
Shouts out Berlin, baby.
Berlin, man, let's go, go, go. And rather than passing on the Falcons, let's pass on some stuff. I'm gonna move on to our third topic here. I'm gonna pass on half a dozen teams making the playoff. Some have been crossed off before, but like we're really crossing them off now. Other ones, it's over. That would be Iowa, that would be Louisville, Memphis, Missouri, Virginia, and Washington.
Mhm.
I am so mad at Iowa. I am so mad. You lost a game that Iowa wins, at
Mhm.
Kinnick in like essentially a hurricane in Iowa City. You couldn't complete the 2-point conversion, and then you gave up some big plays. You allowed Dante Moore and the Ducks with them. Atticus Paddington Sarcophagus the third, his
Something
name.
like that.
I think it's Atticus Sappington or something like that.
It's the most country club kid name you've ever heard.
The kid was conceived out of crown molding and
Oh,
IV
100%.
that IVF kid too.
He was born on an 18th hole. There's no doubt.
He was born in an 18th hole. It's okay. Um, yeah, Iowa's 6-3. This is a team that we gave a lot of credit to, on the playoff rankings. Like, okay, I think they should be higher. But Iowa's still Iowa. And
Mhm.
when the weather's bad, they're not going to score points.
No, and I mean like I like Gronowski was playing hurt today too on top of
Yeah.
that, which his mobility like that really wasn't a factor in this game, which definitely changes the dynamics of the Iowa offense. But yeah, I mean this was your chance. Like now like they can still play spoiler, like they've still got a game against USC looming, which USC is still alive, so like you could potentially spoil their chances of making a run at a playoff spot, but yeah, I mean Iowa's nothing more than a spoiler now and like unfortunately, like this is kind of what I thought they were. Like I still thought
Yeah.
they could have beat Oregon because I think Oregon's closer to them than people want to realize. We'll talk about that in just a second. But like it was a disappointing day for Iowa because like if you wanted to be more, this is the best chance you possibly had to prove it.
I wanted to believe they were a 10-2 team. In reality, they're probably an 8-4 team, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what we thought they'd be. As far as Louisville is concerned, this is the team like, why couldn't you just win this game? If you win this game, you'd be in the playoff. You would be like the best team in the ACC right now with the best resume. I gotta be straight with you. Miller Moss ain't about that. Miller Moss
No.
does not like getting hit. He's like Blaine Gabbert out there. He just crumbles. He's just screaming. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die." And when you have a quarterback like that, you can't win S.
Yeah.
And that's why they were comfortable getting rid of him because Jada Maeva is about that. And more importantly, JKS is about that. And the fact that like Justin Wilcox and Brian Harsin weren't scared, it's like, you know what? We're going to score a touchdown and we're going to beat you on your place because they thought Cal had no chance over top 15 Louisville. I think Jeff Brom is a fantastic head
Mhm.
coach. He's got to get a better quarterback in the portal. I know they've got some NIL money, but like Miller Moss, Miller Moss did not play well versus Miami either. There was limitations
Yeah.
to him with this season.
No, 100%. I mean, like, I think if Jeff Brom wasn't the head coach of Louisville, this roster would go like 6-6. So, like, I think
Mhm.
the fact that they were even the 15th team in the nation coming into this week is a testament to Jeff Brom. But like, this defense isn't very good.
No, they never have a defense. They've got like a really good receiver, a really good running back, and Miller Moss and Jeff Brom. That's about it.
Yeah, and like when you're up against a Justin Wilcox, like that's not a like he's going to figure out ways to not shut you down because Cal doesn't have the dudes to shut a good team down, but like they do have like the scheme to limit you. Make sure you're not like burning them in any major like debilitating type of way. And like this felt like a Justin Wilcox masterclass. Especially, I mean, like you think about in overtime, like going for the win. Like that's what you have to do when you were the underdog on the road. Like don't tie the game and go to a second overtime. No, you go for the win, and he did it, and it paid off. His balls paid off.
100%. Last little bit about Louisville here. So like, and we'll touch on Virginia here in a second, but like everybody in that stadium, it's not Papa John Stadium. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. It's probably some like the Mitch McConnell birdhouse or something dumb.
Oh God. L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium. All right.
They should call it the My Morning Jacket. It still moves dome.
That's right.
There's not even a dome there, but like you had to have known, like in the stadium, that Virginia lost to Wake. That happened beforehand. You're like, oh crap. So our one loss, we can actually avenge this and get ahead of them and take advantage. And you couldn't do it. You played scared.
Hmm. No, 100%. I mean, it was just you you pissed down your leg, but like again, I don't even want to be like too harsh to Louisville because this is who I thought they were. This is
Yeah.
and like let's parlay this right into the Virginia conversation because that's also who I thought Virginia was. I'm not yes, it's an upset. Yes, it throws rankings into chaos. Yes, it changes the college football playoff picture. I'm not surprised. I was yelling about after the college football playoff rankings like everyone in the ACC should be lower than they are because this is not a good conference. It is a exciting conference because there is a ton of parity, but there is not a single great team in this conference.
Well, Chandler Morris got hurt, and that threw a
Yes.
wrench in everything with that. That basically limited what Tony Elliott's offense can do. Also, you and I were like, I think Jake Dickert at Wake's gonna work, and it's working right away. And they're going bowling, dude.
100%, man. No, I mean, Wake. I don't even know what the like right adjective is to describe Wake.
They're
Describe.
Minnesota. That's what they are.
Yeah, that's a good. They're Baptist Minnesota for sure.
uh, PJ Fleck, you think he'd be a demon deacon? Just
Oh, 100%.
he's smoking like unfiltered Winston's on the sideline, like.
He's a deacon for sure. You know, PJ Fleck is a deacon at his church. Like you just know.
I don't really know what that is. I didn't spend a lot of time at church, but yes, that's what he did.
Oh, I have no idea what their job is, but it's like people who are like do stuff at the church. I don't
Okay, I thought it was like an adult altar boy.
know. No, it's like deacons would be the one that like pass around like the offering plate and stuff like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so the accountants of the church. There we go.
Yeah, something like that.
That's fine. But yeah, Virginia, like that's your second loss. You lost to NC State, you lost to Wake. You're having a hard time there in North Carolina. You can still make it to Charlotte, but at this point, like I think there's other teams in the league that are a little more talented than you, and you could still do it, but like I'm kind of just fading Virginia right now.
Oh, 100%, dude. It's like I've been fading Virginia. I've been waiting for this. And like I mean, like Pitt is a better football team than Virginia. They just
Mhm.
haven't had the same luck that Virginia has had in like some of the games that they played at this point. But I mean, the door's wide open for Pitt now.
Keep forgetting about Pitt. Yeah, I gotta consider them a little bit. They're gonna fly up there on
Yeah.
like on Tuesday night. It's like, yeah, Pitt's 16.
Yeah,
We're like,
it's gonna be stupid, but hey, that's the world we live in.
okay, before we get to the one we really need to talk about, let's spend a little time on Memphis and Missouri. We've already talked about Missouri a little bit here. Just depleted. This is you hate it when teams like this that are good, like that have no margin for error. Missouri is going to lose to Mississippi State next week, and Mississippi State's going to go to a bowl game.
Oh, 100%. Like it's just the offense is not functional. And like I think that there's a good chance at a solid future for Matt Zollers in college football, potentially at Missouri. But that future is not now.
Nah,
He looked a little overwhelmed with SEC speed.
you might win battle line at the end of the year versus Arkansas, but that's the worst team in the SEC.
Yeah.
That's you're going to go about 7-5, maybe 8-4.
Yeah, it's a bummer. But I do wonder again, we made this point before. I do wonder what this has to do for like Drink's confidence or like confidence in like what happens if I stay at Missouri versus what happens if I take one of these open jobs if it were to be offered to me.
I don't know if I can do an analogy. It's like a guy where it's like you're running like a mom and pop. It's your own business, but like you take one day off, you let somebody in your family run the cash register, and then the building's on fire. It's I can't even have one day to go to the dentist or something. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna sell this and then go join like a different company or something.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go be a CEO where I have to work like 12 hours a week at LSU.
Yeah, I play a lot of golf here. Let's let's move on to Memphis. That was a tough loss there to Tulane. Jake Retzlaff was able to run. I've got some thoughts about. I think you're right. The American's going to cannibalize itself, and I think it's going to open up the possibility for someone like James Madison or San Diego State to take that bid from them right going now. I think Ryan Silverfield is a good head coach. I do think he's hit a wall there with what they have in terms of being like the third best team in the state, particularly with Vanderbilt being really good,
Yes.
Tennessee being solid.
No, 100%. It's like I just watching Memphis like even going back to their big win over South Florida, like you watching that game, like South Florida looked like the better team that couldn't get out of its own way. It
Right.
didn't feel like Memphis forced any of their like huge errors that cost them in that game. It felt like they were missing throws. It felt like they were, being careless with the football. And credit to Memphis for taking advantage of it, but like that's not a sustainable way to keep winning football games, especially in like that's the thing about the American cannibalizing itself is like the reason it's doing that is because it's a very good league. Like there are a lot of very good G5 teams in the American, and frankly, I would venture to guess that the best G5 team in America is someone in the American. Like, no disrespect to JMU, no disrespect to San Diego State, but like I think the American is just a stronger league. But yeah, I mean Memphis, like they haven't they had shown me nothing that showed that they had separated themselves from the rest of the conference, and like Tulane, like to the point of the American being as deep as it is, like Tulane has been an afterthought for like a month now at this point. And
Yeah,
like they're still a very good team that still like has an outside shot of playing for the AAC title.
100%. I don't mean to put words in your mouth here, but I think this is kind of like your vibe on Memphis. Is like you thought Memphis would be better last year. You thought last year was the
Mhm.
year that it was all going to click for them, and it didn't work out. They're having like Ole Miss is better this year with like supposedly lesser talent, but I don't know. This is like not as good of a Memphis team as what they were doing for the first 2/3 of the season.
No, 100%. I mean, it's definitely some roster attrition. Like they're a little banged up, but like it's just like I thought the last year was the year that they had the roster to like actually make noise, and you fell short.
And I did too. And we got to bury cousin Devon Williams' team. You guys lost with the Washington Huskies. You lost to Wisconsin. Gonna pour one out for Mark Knight. He's going to Hawaii right now, and he's a Washington fan. I think Washington alum, but he covers the Badgers with me. And the whole day I'm like, there's no way in hell they're gonna lose this game. Apparently, I don't look at the weather anymore. Cousin Demond had a really hard time with the Mike Tressel pass rush, and I think more importantly, I think Jed Fish is checked out. His family hates being in Seattle. I think he's the next head coach of Florida.
I would be a great hire for Florida. We were talking about it when they were talking about firing Billy Napier last year. I think Jed Fish would be a great hire there. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Jed Fish gives two damns about the Washington Huskies at this point.
No, no, there's nothing sadder than seeing a Florida man with a visor getting rained on in a wintry mix in Madison, Wisconsin. And you see just the Big Ten energy. They stormed the field and jumped around. It was crazy, but like also Jennifer Mnuchin tweeted and said, "Good job, guys." uh,
Sad state of affairs. Sad state of affairs. But yeah, I mean, like I mean, it was an ugly game. You knew that was going to be the case with the weather and how things were shaping up there. But like, I think I was more surprised with the fact that like I know Wisconsin's run defense hasn't been like non-existent by any stretch of the imagination, but like I thought Jonah Coleman would be able to run the ball a little bit in this game, and he wasn't at all. And you compound that with Cousin Demond, I'd venture to say his worst game of the season. Like it was pretty damn bad. So yeah, it was just it looked like a team that the head coach through the rest of the roster didn't want to be playing that football game.
I think that that's totally fair. When Wisconsin plays halfway decent, they've always had a good run defense. The pass rush kind of comes and goes with like Allegro and Posa and another linebacker. I think it's like Catalan that I'm mistaking on his name. Hallman's a really good defensive back. I think that's the guy who's going to get drafted. He had the big pick on Cousin Demond there in the end zone. But like I thought Ryan Walters called a really good defensive game there for UW. Not a good head coach, but he's really good
Yeah.
defensively. I think Fish was just completely miserable, and
Yeah.
I think th he quit on the team, and then the team quit on him.
No, 100%. And to your Ryan Walters point, I mean, yeah, some dudes are just made to be coordinators. Like the best example in the NFL is Josh McDaniels. We know the dude can't be a head coach, but damn,
Yeah,
every time he's an offensive coordinator, it works. So like, like some
yeah,
people are just like cut from that cloth.
100%. I'll tell you what, I don't think Lane takes the Florida job. I think that that's just a step back. I think you can achieve all you want you can achieve what you can at Ole Miss that you think you can at Florida. I don't think why you would do this.
Yeah.
Do you want to get the college football Hall of Fame or not? I think Fish is the guy that's going to get the job. He's like the third choice for Florida. So if he leaves UW, you hire Brian Harsin. I think UW goes back and they're going to be good.
What if they hired just another name to throw out there? Ryan Grubb.
You know what? That would work. That would work too.
Yeah.
That would work very well. And I don't think he'd leave. I don't think he'd job hop because that's the Xavier of college football, where it's a stepping stone job.
No, 100%. I mean, like the offensive coordinator job in Alabama might be better than being the head coach at Washington. Point blank.
But you're in Seattle and not Greater Birmingham, I guess.
I'm gonna, I'd punt on living in Greater Birmingham, and I'm also gonna punt on a quartet of teams that we have here that are still alive for the college football playoff, but not we're you and I are definitely not sold on, and that's BYU, Oregon, USC, and Vanderbilt. And let's start with BYU because obviously they took a pretty convincing loss on the road in Lubbock to Texas Tech today, and I don't want to be unfair to them because I think that BYU is a much better team. Like, I think BYU would run away with the ACC. But in terms of how I feel about them, it's somewhat similar to the ACC in that, like, I feel that their record is not indicative of what this team actually is. They have luck boxed their way into so many wins, and you finally get up against the highest caliber opponent you played, and you were completely outmatched at every single level.
Yes. I also kind of feel with BYU, I'm trying to think what the right word is for it. Like, look, they're I think the Big 12 is more likely to get two teams and than the ACC. And everybody you're allowed to fail like in the Power Four and still make the playoff. There's occasionally a game where like you get your you get your ass kicked, or at BYU you get your bottom kicked, however you want to.
That's right.
But you have the head-to-head win over Utah. You got a couple more games. You have an opportunity at redemption in Arlington versus Texas Tech later. If you win that game, heck, if you even if you make it interesting, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, SMU got in like twice after losing the same team. Maybe
I,
not quite.
I'm
Yeah.
not convinced that BYU makes it to Arlington, if I'm being completely honest with you. In 2 weeks, they have a road game in Cincinnati, and I'm pegging that as another BYU loss.
And I think that's fair. I know even more down on BYU before. I said they were going to go 4-8 a year ago, so and
Yeah.
they went like 8-4. But
Hey, and like to be like this is I don't hate BYU. Like I think they are a good football team. I just don't think that they're college football playoff caliber. I just don't. Like I think next I mean, let's be real about it. Bear Buckmeyer is a true freshman. Like there is a very real possibility they are a legitimate college football playoff team in next year. I just don't think we're there yet.
dude's apparently like 6'5", 260, and he wears like number 47. The man's just like
I mean, like he's everything that I love about college football. Let's be clear about that. Also, like his name is like his God-given name is not Bear,
uh,
obviously. It's hold on. They said it on the broadcast today, but I gotta find what it actually is. Bear
like
Bachmeier,
he's like Holden Bachmeier.
real name.
No,
Uh
Clarence Bachmeier.
that's not true. And it keeps telling me that his real name is Bear, and that's not correct. His name is like Michael or something. Um
Um, Bearbach. Okay, James Florin Bachmeier.
Yeah, like it's not even close. Like apparently his dad is just super into nicknames. Like he has another brother that goes by Tiger. Like his dad is just super into it.
I had a fraternity brother whose dad had had like a bunch of nicknames. Like his older brother's name was Preston. They called him Stony.
Hell yeah.
I think another one was named like Christopher. It's like your Kit.
The one of the most undefeated nicknames in the world is when you've got like the friend who's just like a big dude. And I'm not even saying like overweight or anything, like just like the biggest dude in the friend group, and that's like Slim. Like that he gets nicknamed Slim or Tiny or something like that. Never fails. It's the best.
Never fails. No. So yeah, BYU. Like I'm a little higher on them than you. I'm gonna I'm gonna dump on Oregon. I'm
Please
gonna do
do. I'm leaving the floor open for you.
There's a bunch of frauds, man. Like this is not. I don't even want to put them in the top 12 of the playoff. Like I don't think that they're legit. The only thing that's kind of cool is Dan Lanning was like, you know what? I'm not going to wear rain gear because I want to feel like the players getting rained on. Um, just because you beat Iowa, I still don't think you're good. I think it's just like I hope that they lose to either Washington or USC and just be done with it. Like it's.
Yeah.
And I understand Dante Moore is really talented here and everything like that, but I'm just watching this thing unfold, and I'm like, good teams don't almost lose to Iowa. And granted, Indiana almost did, but Indiana is still like has a little more substance and grit to them, I think.
Penn State's also still a talented team. Like, let's not
Yeah,
forget about that. Like, Penn State, like, unmet expectations does not remove the talent level that led to those expectations.
but I can't quite put my finger on this. Like, why do I feel so like negative about Oregon, but not with Indiana? I can't really understand what that is.
Because Oregon's not shown once that they have the gear that Indiana does. And like
There you go.
you even look at their like the separate game-winning drives that each of these teams had. And like neither Dante Moore nor Fernando Mendoza had played particularly well up until these final drives. Mendoza put together a drive that was one of the best drives we're going to see from a quarterback all season to put the Hoosiers ahead and get the win against Penn State. And he made it look like he looked so calm, so collected, and like Dante Moore made a couple of beautiful throws on that final drive, but he also made a couple of throws where it was like, brother, what are you like? What are you thinking right here? And Oregon left time on the clock for Iowa. I don't know what the hell Iowa was doing on that final kick return. You didn't even like barely try to lateral. That's neither here nor there. But like Oregon like was so disjointed on that final drive that they left time on the clock for Iowa to still get the football back. They couldn't even bleed the clock out to get there. And like I think that's kind of what holds us back with Oregon is like we just like we've seen Indiana hit a gear even in moments of adversity, they still like hit that gear and go into another level. And I don't think we've seen that from Oregon in any real capacity to this point.
No, like I've come like 360 with them. I was bashing them to start the year. I'm like, this is only the third best team in the Big Ten. Then they won a bunch of games to start. I'm like, oh my God, they're figuring it out. Then I realized, oh, these teams they're beating is actual crap. I thought Penn State was good. Northwestern's the second best one they have after Iowa. So like you're dominating teams that were in the old Big Ten West. Like whoop-de-doo, Basil. What does that have to do with anything?
No, 100%. I do want to give Oregon one piece of credit, and that is with the way that game was played, with the weather, with Iowa being Iowa and Iowing, that's a hard word, like Iowa-ing, turning it into a verb, the game up. Oregon loses that game most years.
Yeah.
And the fact that they did like withstand that and like find a way to get it done, like they do deserve credit for that. I don't want to like they were forced to play a brand of football that is not what Oregon wants to play in any capacity. And the run game stepped up and defense stepped up huge. And so like I do want to give them credit, but I do share similar feelings to you in that like I'm not sure that's translatable because if you get into that same type of game against a team that's better than Iowa, you're going to lose.
They, I'll give them credit. They won a game where they were not comfortable. They had to play left-handed, but they're not comfortable being uncomfortable like Georgia or Texas are.
Yeah, 100%. Like if they played that same game against a team like Notre Dame is winning by 10.
Yeah.
Like that's how that's happening.
So yeah, I'll touch more on Oregon tomorrow and Monday. USC keeps winning. They beat Northwestern. Northwestern had a pick six and fumbled it out of the back of the end zone or something, or I got stripped
Yeah,
by my
unbelievable stuff.
I hope Northwestern goes to a bowl game. That's going to be like the one where like I will be sad if they don't.
Yeah,
Get them to a bowl game. I don't know if they play Maryland, but just play Maryland. Just swap them in there.
let's see.
You play Illinois. You got a challenging into the season from what I recall with them. Like Northwestern's like 5-4, 5-5.
You're gonna want to beat Minnesota in the penultimate game of the season because you got Michigan next week, then home for Minnesota, and then at Illinois. So you're gonna want to beat Minnesota.
You could win all of those games, but Minnesota's the most likely one to do that.
Yeah, like I would almost say I worry that they can beat Michigan just because like I think Michigan just has a different level of athlete on the field than what Northwestern's gonna have out there.
It's like two people who are like, it's like a bunch of residents at a medical clinic. One of them really hit the gym, the other one really hit the books, and they're playing on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's it's not going to be pretty. But no, like of these four teams we're talking about, I would say I'm probably the most bullish still on USC,
Yeah.
but I also don't know how clear their path is, if that makes sense, because like you're going to have two teams stealing bids. So that ostensibly means that you're at large bids or you're looking at the top 10 teams in the country that
Yeah.
we're talking about making it into the playoff because you're going to have the ACC most likely and the group of five stealing a bid from the 11 and 12 spots. And with USC being at 19, like even if you beat Oregon, I don't know if you really jump into that spot.
Because I think at this point, the SEC is going to get at least four, probably five.
Yeah.
You also, Notre Dame owns the head-to-head over you,
Mhm.
and it's not really bid stealing, but they're national independent at large. That creates a whole other wrinkle there. I think USC is probably going to be among my first four out tomorrow's show. I
Yeah.
think because they're still the playoff chances for them making it in are still possible.
They're playing good football too. Like let's be clear about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they're playing good football, but like you're going to need someone beyond just Notre Dame to take an L. You're going to need Oregon to fall apart, and more importantly, you have an opportunity to do that when you play them head to head.
Yeah, I mean, if you beat the dog piss out of Oregon, like, yeah, that's probably your best chance of like assuring yourself a real shot at the playoff.
Yeah, USC's playing good. I mean, tough spot on Friday, a game like where like we've seen people lose those games. Like Miami lost that game.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say that's a Miami L every time, baby.
Was there was a group of five one. It was either Tulane or Memphis. Somebody lost on a Friday that was bad too.
Wasn't Memphis lost to Tulane this week? I'm pretty sure those games were on the same night. Yeah, on Friday.
Yeah. I feel like there was another one too, but yeah, this it doesn't matter. It's a long season, but that Friday night spot will get you, brother.
Um, the only other Friday night AAC game I can think of was that ridiculous one with like 100 points scored between South Florida and North Texas. But like South Florida won that game, so like I don't. But
Yeah,
that's the only other one that's like coming to mind and sticking out.
and I think that's fair. And then let's move on to Vanderbilt to get out of here with
Yeah,
the
the
show.
doors.
Oh my God. They almost lost to Auburn at home.
They did. Yeah. I mean, in fairness, it was a new look Auburn team. Jackson Arnold didn't see the field, so there's that.
But they do lock him in a cage and throw him into the river or something. Throw him in the Columbia. You're going to the Chattahoochee, brother. That's what we're gonna
They drove him down to Lubbock and put him in the shed.
do. Craig James, eat your heart out.
That's right.
It did look better with Ashton Daniels out there. We're like, oh my God, they can kind of do something. And with DJ Durkin out there, like defense kind of let him down, but you knew that was going to happen when your defensive coordinator is now the head coach. He can't put as much emphasis on his side of the ball, replacing one bad person with another one. But you know
Yeah.
that's Auburn for you. So Vanderbilt survives. Vanderbilt's been able to win ugly. They're 8-2, which is
Hmm.
outstanding for
Oh
them.
yeah. Deserve all the credit in the world for it too.
I think they're going to make the playoff because all you got to do is win your final two games over Kentucky and at Tennessee. And I think you can beat Tennessee in Knoxville.
I think they can. I'm not sure that they will. And like that's my like you if you beat Tennessee, yeah, I think you probably get into the playoff. I'm just not like I'm not 100 like if Auburn can score 38 points on your defense, I'm not like I don't feel great about you stopping Tennessee's offense.
Follow me on this. And this is the reason why I think that they're going to be the fifth SEC team to make it. I think Oklahoma is going to lose to Alabama and they're going
Yeah,
to be out.
I agree.
And I would venture to guess Texas is going to lose to either Georgia or A&M, possibly both. And they'll be at the 9-3 thing. They have the head-to-head over Vanderbilt, which I think is the interesting wrinkle in
Hmm.
all of this. And that'll be like the ultimate debate where like the last team in is going to be either Texas or I think Vanderbilt.
They'd put Texas in over Vanderbilt though, is what
Uh,
I think. What I think.
of course they will, but like Texas is final, like, and then you got to play Arkansas, which is a rivalry with nothing to lose.
Mhm.
Texas has the hardest stretch of any team in the country. The final
Yeah,
four.
it's I mean like if they make the playoff, they're gonna earn it. There's no doubt about it.
I'm just saying Vanderbilt's path and like I feel like it could happen a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
more. Because at this point, like Alabama, A&M, Ole Miss, and Georgia are pretty much in. I think Ole Miss has just what like two more games left. They're 9-1. Georgia's 8-1. It doesn't matter. But like Vanderbilt is right there. Which is crazy. But you wonder like if they're gonna do it because they almost lost to Auburn.
Yeah, I mean like that just makes you think, that gets the wheels turning in not a favorable way. Yeah, Ole Miss has Florida and Mississippi State left. So like you should win those games. We'll see, but you should.
It goes back to the thing with Ole Miss. Like, can you afford to lose one of them and still make it in? I think so at this point, but like
Yeah.
it's really close.
I mean, you don't want to. You don't want to have that question be something that you have to think about.
You want Georgia and Oklahoma to win as many games as possible is my
Yes,
plan.
exactly.
So Vanderbilt's very close. I wonder what their FPI will be. It'll probably be about like 30 something percent, I
I was
think.
I was thinking 38 was the number I had in mind. 38 feels about right.
Yeah, 38.
Based on nothing, but that was the first number that came to mind.
All right. And you know, when it's 3-8 on a 3 yards in a cloud of punt, you got to pass or punt, but whatever. We did it. It's late, and let's move. Let's just get out of here
Yes,
with
sir.
3 yards in the cloud of punt here on False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter or the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFP False Start. Like, rate CFB False Start. CFP. Yeah. God,
I heard B, but maybe I'm just so used to hearing CFB false start. I
dude,
don't
when
know.
it gets late, I can't do it. It's muscle memory, and then I'm too tired. But like, yeah, give us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Really helps the show grow. We will be doing a playoff Goldilocks if we remember to record in time. If not, don't worry about it.
That was me. That's my fault.
That's that's fine. We got some Jalen next week. We got Greta Van Fleet. We're doing that. We got Hoodoo
Yes,
and
sir.
Blowfish coming up at some point, and then Hanson.
Yes, can't wait for that, dude. I'm so
We got
excited.
we got some Nine Inch Nails later than that, and then I think we do. I think the Smiths and Morris. We haven't decided what that is, but that's coming down the pipeline.
100%. We've got some certified bangers coming down the pipeline.
The only other thing we need to do is figure out another themed show, and if you've got something off the top of your head, let's just do it.
I have like one, you talked about Pat McAfee watching the Cats hitting the ball back and forth. That's what's going on up here right now. I'm toast.
That's you know what, Dumb and Dumber. I think we're due.
There we go. There we go. That'll work.
Uh, Harry, your hands are freezing because this is false start.